What law in this Constitution says what we teach?
Act 6.
Who said Act 6? You said that? Is he right?
Yeah, it's on.
Raise your hand if he's right. Raise your hand if you don't know. Raise your hand if you disagree. Raise your hand and get some exercise. What this organization teach, and we can't go above this. I'll read it. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. So what do we teach?
Nationality and divine creed.
That's what we teach. Now, if this law says, with us all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people how to drive with no license, how not to pay taxes, how to take over somebody's property, how to take over their domicile, then we would be right. If Act 6 says something like, we are teaching our people how to fight the law, how to tell the police to get out of my face. That's what we teach. If it said that, we would teach that. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Are we clear on what we teach? Nationality and divine creed. All of our rallies are about nationality and divine creed. We are teaching you your nationality. But some of this institutional slavery is in our DNA. We got to work that stuff out. That got to be, it's like the prophet said in the Quran. We got to wash that out. Even by the terminology we use to chastise our children. You gonna get a whipping. Don't that sound like one? You ain't picked enough cotton, whipping. You know, I got my daughters when they were young. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. Do we know the definition of covenant? It's a binding contract between you and your Lord, Allah Almighty. A binding contract between you and our Lord, Allah Almighty, is binding, is holy, is sacred. To do anything other than that is a sin. And for our people to constantly refer to themselves as those marks of Negro, black, and colored is just the opposite of honor. It's a dishonor to your mother and your father. That is the great sin that our prophet is referring to. Especially when you have heard the teachings of this great prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you know better. And you run off calling yourself more American or sovereign, has nothing to do with Drew Ali's teachings, or you completely ignore the fact that you must proclaim your free national name in this government which you live in. You constantly ignore it, you are sinning. Now, if you're sinning the great sin and don't know it, then you need to be made aware of that. That's what you're doing. And that's when it comes in, extending the learning and the truth of this great prophet Noble Drew Ali, waking up the people and letting them know. In the same page it says in verse 11, we are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Let's stop right there. We're trying to uplift ourselves first, and by what you see me uplifted will encourage you to be uplifted as well. We're trying. That's why it's important to make the example of the effects that this great prophet Noble Drew Ali has given us. Even if you never open up your mouth, don't ever wear your shorts with your face. Don't ever do that. Don't ever dress any kind of way with your royal garb on. Look the part, sit the part, walk the part, stand the part. Because as your Grand Sheikh was saying, the prophet never wore blue jeans. He was immaculate. And we talked about the brothers, we talked today about being a haberdasher and haberdashery within itself. In Chicago and New York, You're known for being immaculate to the point that in the vein of our forefathers, everything is custom made. Talking about was more science. We was getting some serious handwork. Brother, you next.
Islam.
Yeah?
Islam, could you state for the record, based on the teachings of the Prophet, exactly what that nationality and identification card is for and its purpose?
Yes, brother.
Islam.
The nationality is, it tells you what it is. It's a what?
It's a blessing for you that
Who?
carry.
A vessel.
A blessing for you that carry this car.
It's a blessing. Where else? There you go. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. Identification card is a blessing. But it's a nationality and identification card. What else? I'm going to let y'all answer this question. Yes, Grand Chief.
Do we need any pictures on the nationality card?
Well, no. And I can tell you why. Ask me that later on. Let's get through that. Things. Unfortunately, you got Moors out there doing things they shouldn't be doing. And the first thing they run to, "Get motorcycle to America, help me." What did you do? The Motorcycle Temple of America says that you must be a law-abiding citizen. Now don't think because you come in and take that nationality card that the system is all going, the green light is. Because guess what? And this system is going to be put in full effect this convention. If you have not paid your per capita tax, which is your representation tax, to be represented in the Moorish Science Temple of America religious organization, and is paid it and can be legally represented, you have no defense. You can't legally be represented because the prophet said in November 1928 that he's emphatic that this tax shall not be ignored.
That's right.
It is a head count tax. It is your right to be represented in your organization by $5 a month, the representation tax. So somebody calls and says, well, so-and-so is in jail, and they said they need you to help them. Well, who is it? It's so-and-so Bay or so-and-so ill. Well, hold on, let me check the registry. This member is not in good standing. And he or she is not in good standing because they haven't paid their representation tax, per capita tax, in 5 years. So how can we legally represent them? Now, here comes the Emergency Act to be performed in an emergency situation. Your money, Emergency Act, Emergency Fund is our FEMA, is our own FEMA. Here's a family that suffered from a natural catastrophe, like a hurricane or something. They have no water and food. Out of the benevolence of our heart, which is a virtue benevolence, we would be obligated to give them some water, give them some food, and say, listen, this is the best we can do for you because we are humanitarians, and our purpose is to uplift all humanity. We can do that. But this stuff of coming in here, getting your nationality card, and saying, oh, ooh, blah, wee. But this stuff of coming in here, getting your nationality card, and saying, oh, ooh, blah, wee. What are we going to do for protection? We did wrong, and we know we shouldn't have did wrong. Well, you have to do like a Polish American, a Italian American, a French American, seek legal counsel. Because they are Americans. Confused, Richard. Well, I can't believe this. Mars says, if you don't believe it so much. It's the prophet.
Islam.
It's the prophet because whoever said it, their name is at the end of the statement.
That's right.
Not yours. It says, I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. In parentheses, I'm a citizen of the USA. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet. That's who's saying it, not you. He's declaring, you're not, you accept this, but he's saying it, is what my understanding is. If you got another one, enlighten me. I'd like to know. Because You're not saying, I do hereby declare that I am a Muslim. You're saying, I do hereby declare that you. So this is the second person. The second person. This is all you need. Thank you, brother.
The commas on it, man.
Club member. You are a member of an organization, and all the members are called Moorish Americans. And to keep your membership intact, you pay monthly dues. You pay per capita tax. That means you pay your uplifting fund, you pay all of the dues according to Act 7, all dues. That means what's due to the prophet to be a member in good standing. Anybody can come in and pay $1.35 for their car, but they have to be in good standing. And along with that, you got to attend your meetings. You have to attend your meetings promptly. Not 5 minutes before the meeting is ended. You're not late, you're early enough for the next meeting, in my opinion. Yeah.